Hi, I'm Patrick Geary, and this is Video Prompt 5. So, the first thing that we were asked is to try to explain a situation where you realized that the method of collecting data that you were giving was not up to par. So, I spent a significant amount of time over the last, 10 plus years of going through some diagnoses to get some mental conditions and things evaluated. And over the course, I learned what was going on in a lot of these questionnaires. And in particular, when you would get to the longer ones, I was well aware that there was going to be like some sort of like split half reliability thing. So your 150 questionnaire at some point was going to start asking the same questions again. And that's totally reasonable. It makes sense. So towards the end of one of these trials, I took a long test, and I was kept waiting for that shoe to drop, where the second half was going to essentially like repeat the first half, worded differently, to make sure that you were giving answers that made some amount of sense. And it never came. And honestly, that was a big red flag that the facility that I was working with was subpar. Anyways, on to the next part where we are developing an app. So a double question might be, do you like your partners to be kind and successful? So the problem with there is the and. It doesn't give the person a person the ability to say, yes, I would like them to be kind, and yes, I would like them to be successful, or like one or the other. You're adding them together in a double barrel question. Next would be social bias. And like for that, I consider myself to be a good partner, and you can have that on a Likert scale, but you're more inclined to put yourself as like, yes, I am likable. That's just part of the social bias. And then to do a reverse, you might be like, later in the survey, you could say the same thing and be like, oh, do you consider yourself to be a bad partner? And now you've gotten the reverse, and if you get similar scores reverse coded, you're set. Okay, so real world example, I chose to say insulated news networks that will use their viewership to like fuel polls that they're going to spit back to their viewership. And oftentimes these polls are really like leading, and it makes for like a feedback loop and some weird confirmation biases. And the thing with that is like, unfortunately, that's a feature and not a bug, essentially. And the best way to combat that is the onus is on the person consuming the media, that you have to be able to aware of that and get your media sources from multiple places. Thank you.